All right. Good day, good day, good day. My name is Eric. This is Video Lux Philippines. Today we're going to do something a little different on the live stream. We're going to be talking about Filipino martial arts. And Filipino martial arts is predicated on double stick fighting. And we're going to be doing a little bit of a demo of that today and talking about some of the techniques and some of the processes learned and why those martial arts differ from certain other Western martial arts, like karate, for example. So I am a third-degree American Kempo karate black belt. And in karate, they do teach you defenses against knives. But the types of defenses they teach you are the types of defenses of like, I hate to say this because karate is an amazing self-defense protocol. You come home and your girl's like, you cheating bastard. Like, attacks that are just like, untrained attacks. When you get like, a trained knife fighter, being a first degree, second degree Kempo black belt, you're not really prepared for that. It isn't until you get up there in your degrees that you really start to learn how to defend yourself against a trained knife opponent. So Combat Arnis is the national fighting style of the Philippines. And it is essentially a bladed system. Okay? Kempo crest, that's the Ed Parker crest. Actually, that's the NKS crest adapted from the Parker crest. This is the Babayin, right? The original Filipino script, karate system. And this is the Grandmaster that I learned from. I'll put all those links for him in the video description below. I know it is October, but this is not Halloween. This is not a costume. I earned this jacket when I trained for my first degree American Kempo, my first degree Kalahi Combat Arnis fighting black belt. The sticks are traditionally 28 inches long, and believe it or not, even though it is a stick fighting technique, it's actually a sword fighting technique. Sword and knife, we call that espada daga, all right? You fight with the sword and the knife, and you fight in 3 different categories, and you learn the system in 3 different categories. And we'll talk about all that. So while I'm waiting for folks to get going here, check out some of the comments. Greetings, Kiwi, welcome back. Good to see you. Someone asked me to do a Combat Arnis live demo, or just a demo in particular to talk about the different types of fighting styles. So regardless of what your martial art fighting style is, right, whether it's a Combat Arnis style, you're going to have equipment. Equipment's important. This is equipment number 1, right? Call this a nut hut. Yeah, protects the family jewels. The wedding tackle, right? It's all good. Probably hang this up in the background. It's going to get hot in here today. I'm in my upstairs sala, so there's not a lot of. I don't air condition this room. It's just too big, and I don't use it enough. So, other equipment. So when fighting in Combat Arnis and or training, believe it or not, there are gloves that we use because you need to really protect your knuckles from strikes. And these are, believe it or not, lacrosse gloves. Yeah. And lacrosse gloves have like a sticky strip in them, and they're very, there's a lot of dexterity. You have a lot of dexterity in these gloves. So we'll talk about a bunch of different types of strikes today. We'll talk about the fundamentals of the system. We'll talk about the training of the system. And we'll talk about why it's so different from systems that you'll find in the West. All right, so let me get this stuff set to the side. It's going to be a little difficult for me to manage the comments while I have the camera set up like this, but that'll be all right. So I would say the fundamental difference between fighting style like combat Arnis, which is also known as Kalahi or Eskrima, here in the Philippines it's Arnis, is the way it's taught, the fundamental principle behind why it's taught that way, and the fact that most Western fighting styles are what we call head hunter styles. All right. In other words, people are punching for the head, and they're punching. So it's a hand or open hand karate, open hand, right? Fighting system. It's not like that in the Philippines. In the Philippines, it's what we call a bladed culture. Everyone has a knife, and they will stab you or slash you. You got to learn how to defend yourself against a knife. And of course, rule number one in a knife fight is don't get in it. Rule number two is you're going to get cut. All right. So that's why you need to be able to manage your fighting style or defensive style in such a manner that you can minimize how and where you get cut while you take the blade away. Believe it or not, that is easier said than done. You see a lot of techniques, guys doing blade takeaways and stuff. But like the thing is like if I block this blade, like someone comes in with a blade and I block it, they can still cut me. You've got to control the blade. So those are complexities under which we call things principles. Okay, there's always principles in an art, a fighting system in art. Maybe I should put the jacket on for some more credit. We got just a couple of people watching right now, so why don't I just get into some of this? I'm going to wear the one glove because I have a cut on this finger. So the basic thing that you learn when you learn combat arts is sticks. And the reason why you learn sticks before you learn hand-to-hand is because you want to be able to hurt somebody at a distance, right? Why do I need to get close enough to you for you to hit me when I could hit you from back here with a weapon? And got to remember, this isn't a stick. This is a sword. We only train with the stick, right? Because when you're twirling this thing around, right, you're doing these inside twirls. See these inside twirls? So and then this twirl comes in. That blade comes really close to your face. And until you get really good with the stick, they don't let you pick up a sword. It took me probably 3 years before they let me pick up the sword. So the first thing they teach you in Filipino martial arts is what they call lago or long. And that's stick fighting. And the first thing you learn is how to twirl stick. Because you've got to develop your wrist strength. Actually, it looks better on this side, I think. The twirl always happens up here, right? Unless you're coming across on the bottom. And then the twirl happens here. And that's the other thing. Are you defending against an opponent while you're going downhill? That's one style, all right? You fight up. Another style, you fight down, you're going uphill, all right? But most styles, once you learn the basics, right? So you got your twirl down, twirl up, twirl down, twirl up. And you do a bunch of these until you get good and fast at it. And then you get to the point where you can alternate your twirling, right? But in between alternating twirling, you also alternate feet. You alternate your direction, right? Feet is the most important part of martial arts because I would say the number one principle of Kempo Karate is control distance. And the way you control distance is with your feet. Now, you don't only control distance from the target, you control distance to the target. And it's the back foot that predicates distance. That's why a lot of fighting styles like Kempo Karate and Krav Maga and even Combat Arnis teach what they call a slide up. You can't really see it now, but you slide up your back foot. So I throw in a jab while I slide in my back foot. You don't see me getting closer to you, but now I've got all this range because I brought my back foot up. So your major differences is in karate or boxing or Krav Maga. They teach you how to get in there with your hands, right? In Filipino martial arts, the first thing they teach you is sticks. The last thing they teach you is hand to hand. It goes lago, long, medyo, medium, and then mano y mano. You know what I'm saying? Good morning. Yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm Eric. This is Video Lux Philippines. We talk about all things Philippines today. Not just Filipino martial arts, but what I call situational awareness. So I can sit down for that. Then we'll get back to the sticks. Just kind of want to give you guys a little intro of what's in store for you today. And then, of course, I'll take your questions. Again, it is not Halloween. I do have a black belt in Filipino martial arts, as well as a third-degree black belt in American karate. So one of the things guys ask me a lot about in the Philippines is it safe? Do I need to be on guard? Do I need to defend myself? Do I need to carry a weapon? Okay, so we can answer all those questions. One, yes, it's relatively safe, especially in areas like BGC or Makati, areas where I show you a lot of the videos. Like, you're never going to have issues there. The most you're going to have issues with is a snatcher. You got your phone out on the street. Hey, baby, when are we going to meet for? Oh, shit, my phone's gone. Yeah, you're going to get snatched if you're not careful. You might even get pickpocketed. Oh, let me put my phone on the table for a minute. I'll be right back. And then come back, phone's gone. Imagine that. Things grow legs and walk in the Philippines. But you don't have thugs roaming down the street. You don't have Venezuelan gangs taking over your condo. Come on. This is the Philippines. It's not Colorado. So, do I need to learn how to fight? Well, yeah. You're a man. You should always know how to fight. Whether that's just boxing lessons. Even if you go down to your local gym and do like your, kickboxing aerobic class, like learn how to throw a punch, learn how to move. Remember, rule number 1 of karate is control distance. Rule number 2 is control angle. And angle is a huge part of martial arts. What was the third thing? The third thing was, am I safe? Should I learn how to fight? And what to do if there's trouble. All right. So actually some guy got in my face the other night. I was completely shocked. Rule number 1 is just don't fight. Like, don't fight. There's no need to get into a fight. I would say 99.9% of the Philippine people that come to the Philippines don't. They're not coming here to fight. They're coming here to party. They're coming here to find girls or guys, if that's what they're into, or something in between. And they don't want to fight. Occasionally you get a mean, stupid drunk or just an angry drunk or, someone that gets adversarial. That's what the guards are for. I'm like the other day, I was like, Kiyae, get this guy out of here now. Here's what I have to pay for his thanks. Like, you let someone else handle it. You get in a fight in the Philippines, you're either going to go to the hospital or you're going to go to jail or both. And nobody wants that. And if you send someone to the hospital, you're going to have to pay for their hospital bills. So in the case of karate, you don't want to have to pay for someone's hospital bills because you're going to break something. You're going to break their kneecap. You're going to break their elbow. You're going to break their thumb. You're going to break their nose, their jaw. You're going to break something. That's what karate does. Karate is considered a merciful art because it doesn't kill, it disables. Any questions? No questions? All right. So really what that boils down to is how do you disarm a situation? And the main way to disarm a situation is to never get in a situation. And that's what we call environmental awareness or situational awareness. Now, this is common sense in some respects, but maybe if you've never had any type of self-defense training or whatever, nobody ever told you, it's one step down from keep your head on a swivel, It's not like you're always looking around. It's just that you're aware. You're aware of who's around. You're aware when someone comes in. When you're walking down the street, are there two guys walking towards me on the same side? Do they split? Make it look like they're splitting. Have me go in between them. You know? How does the situation look? Should I cross the street? You know? These are things that you want to be aware of. And I probably should have started the stream with this, but when guys say, oh, dude, show me some karate, here's what I showed. I say, I'm facing you right now, right? You see, this is my plane, okay? My vulnerable targets are on a straight plane to you, right? Throat, nose, solar plexus, family jewels. I'm on an open plane of attack. If you're within arm's reach, all of these targets are open to you. So what you do when someone's near you, you take your center line, your vulnerable targets, off the line of attack. And the way you do that, I don't know if this thing's making it hard to see, but my center line is facing you. Now my center line is on an angle to you. You cannot hit these targets. If you want to hit a target, you got to hit muscle. Or you've got to go through muscle to get to those targets. And muscle is armor. One of the first things well, it's really not the first thing. It isn't until about green belt that you start fighting bare knuckle in karate. And the first time you take a couple of good, hard bare knuckle shots, and then 2 or 3 days later, you're talking purple bruises, brown bruises, yellow bruises. Yeah, it hurts. But you don't have a broken nose. You didn't get laid out on the street because they knocked you in your liver or your solar plexus, right? You still have kids because you didn't get kicked in the nards. You learn how to take a shot. And yeah, that's not fun. But it changes you. You realize the first couple times somebody lays those knuckles on you, you're like, whoa, I don't want any part of that. And then you realize, I know where to take those shots. I know how to take those shots. I know how to cover up. Don't want to take those shots here, right? You get your center line off the target. Bro, I don't want to fight. But look at the position of my hands. This hand's ready to make a fist and go for it, right? I'm ready to fight. I'm even in a position to slide up and fight. Bro, I don't want to fight. But I can fight if I need to. Bro, I don't want to fight. And the guy comes on you. Cover up. Cover, right? Cover high, cover low. The kick, that's a sweeping block. First rule of karate is control distance. Hey, bro, I don't want to fight, but I'm in a position to fight. Now, it's not just getting your center line off the target, getting your hands into a defensive, hey, I don't want to fight position. I even tell them, bro, I don't want to fight, and I'll back up. I don't want to fight. I'm ready to fight. And if you're really observing, you'll notice my weight distribution is on my back foot for 2 reasons. 1, if I need to come forward on you, I've got it, right? 2, I need to get back. You just come on me. Pop! See that? You didn't see that coming. See my hands? That's what you're looking for. You're not looking at that. Oh, yeah, the kick. So a lot of times when I do karate training at home, I just do these light sort of warm-up kicks. And the kick's 4 chambers, right? It's up, out, back, and down. The kick has to go out fast, right? But it also has to come back fast. And it has to be relaxed. Bro, really, I don't want to fight. Pop! Fight's over. That's right, I can kick you in the face even though you're 6'2". So the reason I'm able to do that is because a couple days a week, I just sit here, throw a couple lazy kicks. Both legs. Sometimes I'll do the front kick, side kick, rear kick. The spinning rear kick's great. I throw the jab, you move this way, pop. Fight's over. Karate is great for street fighting. And we're not talking traditional like Okinawan karate. We're talking Kempo karate, which is the rounded off the street fighting. All right. So rule number 1 is avoid the fight. Rule number 2 is to understand that you have to control distance or the angle. Rule number 3 is that if someone's in your face, you've got to control your personal space in a non-threatening manner. And that is the method in which I just demonstrated. Get your center line off the target, get your hands into a defensive, I don't want to fight position, and distribute your weight so you can move forward or defend. That front snap kick will fall the guy over. And that front snap kick can go low too, can take out a knee. That's extreme escalated situation. So I'll give you an example of something that happened to me the other day, or the other week, or the other month, I don't know. But it stood out to me because I actually had to raise my voice, and I don't normally have to do that. You see if I can. So the idea is that someone is trying to get within arm's length. Okay, someone is this close to you, or trying to get that close to you. They're coming up to you. In this case, it was a street guy, and he had his hand out. Bro, give me some money. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me put my hands in the pocket and get him out of the fight so you can fucking slug me. No. First thing I did was I said, whoa, and I backed up a little bit, and I redistributed my weight, okay? I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I don't want, and I told him loud, I'm like, I don't like people getting close to me. Don't get close to me. And the guy was like, okay. Now, say it wasn't some streetwalker guy that was just looking for a handout. Say it was some bum that thought you were hitting on his girl. Same thing. Hey, bro. Look, I'm here with my girl. I'm not interested in your girl. I was just saying hi. Hand out, back up. I'm like, I don't want any trouble. Let me buy you a beer. You de-escalate the situation. You control the distance, non-threatening. Look at my hands. Hey, bro, I don't want any trouble. I can sweep, block that kick. I can fold up, protect my face or my ribs, right? And there's other techniques. That's the 5 swords techniques. One of the biggest attacks. Make sure this thing's going all right. Like, I don't know, 67% of bar fight or street fight starts with what they call a haymaker, where some guys go, you motherfucker, or sucker punches you, right? There's techniques to defend against that. 5 swords, right? Block the punch, chop to the throat, solar plexus bends him over, chop to the neck, kick to the balls, backhand on the way out. That's actually 7 swords. 5 swords is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can reach over, rake the eyes. 6, kick on the way out. 7 swords. There are a lot of techniques. Well, what if he throws 2 haymakers? You start with 5 swords. Oh, here comes another haymaker. Switch my block, but as I come across, stiff hand to the face. There's a lot of karate techniques to defend against punches. Filipino martial arts is much more straightforward. I mean, Filipino martial arts is going to be predicated on simple things like wrist lock, thumb lock, knee kick, or eye spear. Like, there's so many times where I was training for my Filipino martial arts, my combat Arnis black belt, and the grandmaster would be like, show me your defense against this. And he grabs my wrist, and I put him in a wrist lock, and then he's around, and I have his elbow under control. And he's like, why'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know, because it's a technique. It's a cross-body grab technique. He's like, do it to me. I do it to him. You know what he does? He goes, pokes me in the eyes. I'm like, okay, that works too. So it's all about situational awareness, environmental awareness, and not being afraid to get in someone's face, but controlling the distance. Again, like, the guy came up to me. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, back off, bro. Like, just back off. I don't want people in my face. And if he kept encroaching, I would adapt a more aggressive pose. Hey, man, look, I don't like people close to me. Step back, man. Step back. And once he steps back, all right, here's 10 pesos, bro. Flip it out. You know, if you want to give him the money. If you don't want to give him the money, look, man, I don't give out money. Just, you know, let me go on my way. Let me go on my way. And I'll just start walking. If he doesn't stop, whoa, back up, man. I don't want people getting close to me, right? That's how you do it. Go upstairs here. I don't like people getting close to me. But he keeps coming. I back up and I yell at him. Get back! Don't get in my face, right? They want to come upstairs here. Hold on. If you're coming upstairs, you should come upstairs, please. In a lot of martial arts, they have something they call a Kiyae yell or a shout, and they'll have you practice it. It's this primal, like explosion of sound that you're going to learn how to use. And I've seen guys do it, and like spittle will fly from their mouth, like they become this outrageous, insane savage. And see the comments here. Is Filipino martial arts defensive or offensive? All right, let's get back to Filipino martial arts. So Filipino martial arts and the origin of it, first of all, it's essentially what they call double stick and knife fighting, okay? So any system that uses a weapon is an offensive system, all right? Not that you can't defend yourself with an offensive system, but in this case, Filipino martial arts is offensive. And if you look at the history of it, why the stick fighting developed, there's a couple of I don't know, historical battles that happened way back in the day. We're talking like way before the Spaniards, you know, way before World War II. The Japanese were trying to invade the Philippines, and they had a much larger, well-trained, well-equipped army. And the Filipinos were basically farmers. They had, you know, sticks and farming tools, which became things like the gunting or the reverse sword that the Filipinos use in martial arts. So legend or history has it that, you know, like the Filipinos were able to repel the army of Japanese invaders just using sticks. So when they taught their kids, really, they taught everybody in the villages how to fight. They didn't have time to teach you how to, you know, make a spear and use a spear or a long bow or whatever. They're like, we're getting invaded. Here's 2 sticks. Go out and beat them off. But it wasn't just like they go out and they're like, ow, stop. They realized that they needed something to their advantage, which they essentially call misdirection. Okay. So I had to change my camera angle there while they're fucking around there. So we talked about, first of all, the twirling, right? You know what? My hands are sweaty. We also talked about equipment. These are lacrosse gloves. We use lacrosse gloves when we train for 2 reasons. They're designed to hold a stick, and they're incredibly protective. I don't want my stick to go flying out of my hand because it's sweaty in here today. Not that it's not sweaty every day in the Philippines. Glove, come on, talaga. Just the fact that you're twirling the stick, right? Am I twirling it this way? Am I twirling it this way? Am I twirling it that way? Right? Did I come at you like this? All I got to do is flip it. I come back like that. It's a decapitating strike. You're blocking here. Or you block my shot. Took your head off. Misdirection. But it wasn't just that. You learned sinawalis, right? Where you would say, like, I think the first one they teach you is head, knee, head, knee, head, knee, head, knee. But then you start to go head, knee, change direction, head, knee, change direction, head, knee. And you'll practice that. Head, knee, head, knee, right? And then they'll teach one called double sinwali. Head, knee, head. Head, knee, head. All right, and then they'll teach one called X sinwali, where the sticks kind of make an X pattern. And then, get this chair out of the way. And then the X pattern is one of the last patterns they teach, not because it's hard to do, but because it turns into one of the most, see my tire, you can't see my tire here, but it's in the way. The other thing we use are tires. Because when you want to beat on something, you need something like a tire to do that. So the X and Y, watch. X. See how the X pattern is? This is like the X, makes this X pattern of it. That's one part of the X. That's the other side of the X. The downward arc of the X, the downward arc of the X. That X pattern becomes that like super like double samurai sword fighting sequence that you see in the first Batman movie, where the guy comes up, he's like, ah! Batman's like, pop! Right in between the swords. Filipino martial arts and Filipino fighting is a bladed culture. They don't fight with their fists here. I mean, not only you won't see fist fights, they fight with knives. It's a completely different culture of fighting. They taught people, kids, farmers, to repel invaders. And they did it through misdirection and killing. They didn't want to leave you alive so you could come back another day and invade their land. They wanted you dead. Stop coming to take our land. What else we got here? Talked about equipment, right? Gloves to protect yourself. When you train in Filipino martial arts, you're going to get your hands hit a lot. You're going to get your knuckles skinned. You're going to get sweaty. That's why I was losing my grip on the stick. All right. How to hold the stick. Some guys choke up a little bit. All right. The Grandmaster will tell you don't do that. Now, the higher you choke up, the more control you have over the stick, obviously, right? Also, the less range you have. This is a sword. Swords have a cross guard, what they call a hilt, usually, right? If you hold the stick up here, technically you're holding it too high. Now you're practicing and you're range. So, again, the fucking Baron Guy announcements. The reason you practice with the stick is so you don't cut your face off. Because a lot of these techniques, right? So say I just strike out. Okay, I've got a couple of options here. I can come around and strike back. Don't have as much power. I strike out. Now I can rechamber. But when I rechamber, it comes inside. Look how close that comes to my face. That's how close that comes to my face. If this was a point of a sword and I'm choked up on it, and this is how I'm used to training, and now I'm fast with the stick, I bring that inside, I cut my throat, I cut my nose off, I can rip a gash in my cheek. You fight as close to the base of the stick as possible, and that does three things. One, it increases your range. Two, it gives you the proper system to understand how far in you can bring your internal chambers. When you're swinging it outside, if you're outside, who cares? Not that I haven't cut my leg before. Cutting would have been cut if I'd been using a sword. If you're outside, you can easily hit your leg on the way down. Yeah, Filipino martial arts is no joke. It's not easy to learn. It takes a long time to build up the forearm strength. I told you before, like I used sticks for 3 years before you even let me pick up a sword. And speaking of grandmasters and swords, check the links in the video description below. I put a couple links in there for the grandmaster using the gunting sword. And the gunting sword weighs more than both these sticks put together. So sometime around the 3rd year of your training, if you make it that far, or maybe you can do it in 2 years. It took me 4 years because I wasn't in the Philippines full time. Now, granted, I trained a lot back home, and that's what a lot of the videos up on the channel are about. Those channels aren't necessarily about me doing Filipino martial arts. Those videos are like my training diary. Like I was only here for a month at a shot 4 times a year. So I'll come for a month, train every week, shoot a bunch of video, go back to the US, watch the video, and learn from it, learn the techniques that I was shown. Because it was way too much information to absorb, twice a week for 4 weeks. So, I would learn it, practice it, come back and test on it. So it took me about 4 years to get that black belt. But during it all, I practiced 2 or 3 times a week. And sometime in the 3rd year, he said, tape your sticks together at the top and the bottom and start doing your single sinwali system, right? With 2 sticks to build up your forearm strength. Now, Dr. Wang Ji, 10th degree grandmaster, Bando grandmaster, founder of the American Bando Foundation. I did a couple classes with him because he's one of the senior grandmasters of my karate school. Amazing dude, amazing stories. He said, screw that. He said, just get a big pipe. He's like, get a lead pipe or a metal pipe and practice. So we looked a lot at single sinawali. I should have got one at the time. I have a collapsible baton. It actually kind of just fits in my jeans pocket. It's made of aircraft grade aluminum. Would I carry it around the Philippines? Well, sometimes I do. When I travel, if I'm backpacking, maybe if I go out in the barangay at 3 in the morning to look for Paris or something, I might slip it in my pocket. But you can't carry that shit around the Philippines. There's something similar to what they call a truncheon law in the U.S. So a truncheon law basically says, unless you're security or law enforcement or working in a job that requires you to have a truncheon or a collapsible baton to do your job. Now technically I do. I'm a martial arts instructor. But in the Philippines, that's not going to fly. They catch you with a collapsible baton, especially after you've crippled somebody or killed them with it. Because despite the fact that this is non-lethal, a lot of these targets, head, knee, elbow, wrist, somebody's got a knife, pop. I'm not trying to smack you in the head and kill you with this. I'm trying to disable you. I'm trying to break your elbow, your knee, your wrist, your forearm, right? You can kill someone with this real easy. So the truncheon law dictates, let's see what my comments are in a minute. The truncheon law dictates basically that if you're walking around with a truncheon or a collapsible baton, you're looking for trouble, and it's your fault. Let's see what these comments say here. How about footsteps? Do you move side to side, front, back, or triangle? Damn straight, man. We talked about footwork in the beginning of the stream. Footwork is the most important part of any martial art because I use the example from Kempo Karate. Rule number 1 or principle number 1, control distance. You got to control the distance between you and your target. Rule number 2, control angle, and you use feet to do that. And I'll give you the demo of what I do when people say, show me karate. And it talks about angle and distance, basically, and defense. Heard there's some foreigners with concealed carry permits. Apparently, if you know the right people, you can make it happen. Yeah, I do. I do know something about that. And I know some people that carry. But it's not just knowing the right people. It's having the right amount of money to grease the palm for. And they don't really carry. They have their driver carry. Okay. If you got the kind of money where you're concealed carrying, you're paying someone to drive you around. And you don't carry it, they carry it. All right. And unless, of course, you live in a province or something. Yeah, it's possible. And granted, again, another Kempo Karate rule, I'll show you that demo in a minute. In America, I know a lot of black belts, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th degree black belts, they just carry a gun. And I'm like, bro, why are you carrying a gun? You could snap a gun away from somebody in 5 seconds from 20 feet away. And they're like, look, there's something called reasonable force. And when you train in Kempo for 5, 10, 15, 20, 40 years, your muscle memory is so fast and your hands are so fast that not only Did you, break his elbow on the first shot? You dislocated his carotid fucking, neck region and broke his jaw and then folded and broke his nose. You got 4 shots in before you even realize you get hit once. What's that called? That's called snapping twig. Break the elbow, chop the throat, hammer, head to the side of the fist, collapse. This goes to the top, this goes to the jaw, pop. And that happens fast. That's the technique. You've been hit 4 times, you have 2 broken bones, you're on the floor before you even realize you got hit. All right, maybe a practitioner could be like, pop, I broke his elbow, okay, I'm gonna let him go. But I guarantee you, man, to just pop and not put that second shot out there, that's hard to do, especially when your adrenaline's flowing. And you're trained to break the elbow, hit the throat. Break the elbow, hit the throat. Break the elbow, hit the throat. It happens. All right, now I'm in a court of law, and his lawyer's like, sorry, sir, that guy's a 3rd-degree black belt. He could have ended the fight once he broke my defendant's arm. But he hit him in the throat too, and that's excessive force. We're pressing suit for assault or battery, right? Battery in this case. And the black belt told me, he said, bro, I'd rather just pull out a gun and shoot him. He's like, as far as legal goes, that's easier to get away with than beating somebody up as a black belt. Sure, man. Appreciate that, JB. Thanks for tuning in today and throwing a couple questions out there. All right. So anyway, the back triangle. So triangle techniques are big in Kempo, obviously. Leaping crane, the one I can think of right off the top of my head. But circling fist, I forget. Anyway, when guys ask me to show them karate, this is what I do. Normally, when you're talking to somebody, you're face to face, right? But that puts your center line, all your vulnerable targets, right? Your nards, your solar plexus, your liver, your throat, your nose, all your eyes, all your vulnerable targets are right on the center line. So the first thing you do in karate when somebody tries to fight you is you get your targets off the center line by stepping back. Now I'm on an angle. Now my targets aren't on the center line, okay? And you put your hands up. Hey, bro, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight, man. And you redistribute your weight. You're looking at my hands up here. Hey, bro, I don't want to fight. But see, my weight's already been distributed. I'd kick you in the face while you're looking at my hands. Or if you make an aggressive move, again, that same kick that goes to your face, that just folded you in half. Now, right? Or you take a shot at me. I can cover up. Come in for the liver, right? Or I can, right? If I can't get the kick up in time, I can fold, still have this defensive posture, and rear kick. That dragon whip kick's great against a bigger opponent that wants to come in and like Superman punch you. Because basically he's open. He's on you. He's ready to, and the next thing you know, he goes, oh, got that kick going in right there. That dragon whip's so fast. But everything's about angle. Controlling distance. The triangle, leaping crane. God, the punch comes in, right? Not only you block the punch, but you leap off to the side and you assume what they call the shape of the crane. You can't really see it. Where basically you're on one foot with one knee up, right? Punch comes in, pop. The shape of the crane. And you make that in a triangle foot motion on the floor. But again, like, we talk a lot about techniques. We talk a lot about styles. But rule number 1, avoid the fight at all costs. You want to avoid that fight at all costs. If you can't avoid the fight, you control the distance. If you can't avoid the fight by just putting up your hands and be like, bro, I don't want to fight. No, it's a misunderstanding. Look, let me buy you guys a round of beers and I'm going home. And then just go to another bar or something. It's like it is not worth fighting, especially in the Philippines. You'll go to the hospital or you get arrested or both. Arrest leads to deportation. Not good. Very rare that you're going to have issues. Very rare that you're going to have issues in the Philippines. because people don't come here to fight, and they come here to party and pick up chicks or lady boys or dudes or whatever they're into, you know. Yeah, I've been here 8 years now, 4 years before that, and I could count the number of close calls I've had on one hand. And I could tell one or two of them was just some like drunk ass that was just like inflating his own ego in front of his bros, you know. But like again, like you got to understand where you are. We talked about situational awareness or environmental awareness. If I'm in a bar and I know that bar and they know me, I'll give you Lips as an example. You see that a lot on my channel. Hey, it's not like Lips is the greatest bar in the world. It's not like it's just my spot, you know, like it's cheap. I know the owners, I know the waitresses, I know the guards. They've had the same guards there since they opened like 3 years ago. Like literally the same 5 guards that they opened with work there till this day. And every time I roll in, not every time, but at least once a month, once every other month, sometimes twice a month, like I go across the street, I'll buy like a couple of those cheap Filipino Red Bulls, whatever they're called, Stinger or Hornet or whatever, you know, a bag of chips and whatever, and like a phone in a bag. It'll be like 150 pesos for like 3-4 drinks. And then I just, before I go into the bar, I'm like, here you go, Kiyae, like split it with your boys, you know, like. And every now and again in the club, like I'm like, hey man, I need a table. They're like, oh yeah, hold on a second. They get your table. Hey, here's 100, you know. Well, my boys are getting a little loud and rowdy, or like they're taking pictures, and the guard has to be like, no. I'm like, bro, slipping 50, slipping 100. Like, you got to be cool about that. Like, I take video in the club, but again, I don't take video of the girls. And if any of the girls get in a shot, then I blur them out. Let's see what's going on the live stream today. I can't even tell if my stream's frozen or what, man. It's like surprisingly been on for 47 minutes. Yeah, I can talk about Kempo karate, self-defense, experiences all day long. So we showed you this before. Let's try it like this. Combative Arnis is the national fighting style of the Philippines, right? The Baybayin, right, which is the traditional Filipino writing language. The Kempo karate system, the Kempo crests, right? This is derived from the Parker crest. It's the NKS system crest. I got this uniform when I got my Combat Arnis black belt in 2015. Not a lot of comments today. Not that I want to keep rambling on about self-defense, situational awareness, environmental awareness, karate techniques, using your voice to control the situation. I was saying earlier to like somebody, like if somebody's in my face and I don't want to adapt a fighting stance, so I don't want to fight, right? But someone's getting uncomfortably close, and I use the example of a bum, right? So we're talking arm's length. Anyone that's within arm's length, you gotta be concerned about, right? You get to an arm's length, I put my hand up, take a step back. I'm like, I don't want people getting close to me, man. Back up. And I'll tell them that. Straight up. You know, hey, mister, I don't want people getting close to me. Back up. Hands here, back up. Right? And of course, my weight distribution at the time, if he doesn't back up, kick him in the face, side thrust kick to the knee, right? We call those chamber kicks, where any kick that comes up, it's hard to see because I'm wearing black. Any kick that comes up, it's a conversion kick, not a chamber kick. This is the chambering of the kick, okay? The knee comes up. But from there, you can snap the kick out straight, you can snap the kick out to the side, or you can snap the kick as a roundhouse, right? They don't know which way the kick's coming. That's why a lot of times you do that slide up fake kick. That was a kick, by the way. Camera might not caught it, but it comes up fast. You don't see it coming because you're looking at my hands. Hey, man, look, really, I'm like moving. My back foot comes up. Now I'm closer to you, right? But I wait for that back foot to go, hey, man, really, I don't want to fight. Like, I might even make a fist. Hey, man, don't. Now you see my fist, right? You see my fist? You don't see that. Misdirection. Fake high, hit low, fake high. The sticks traditionally are 28 inches. They are made of rattan. They are solid. I've never broken a stick. Filipino martial arts is a bladed culture. They fight with knives here, right? 2 ways to hold a knife, depending on your striking system. They teach you striking systems, and a lot of it is simple. Like, depending on which hand you have the knife in or where the strike goes, like you'll step with the stab, step with the stab, right? Step with the stab, step with the stab. See how the knife? This is one. But now, so step, step, right? You're going for different targets. But now I'm going to switch my grip on the knife, right? Because I want to come back. And a lot of that knife fighting in the Philippines is like block, cut, swipe. So, you swing at me, block, cut, cut. Knife fighting is insanely dangerous. It takes an insane amount of practice and skill to master. There's almost no mastery of it. Rule number 1, again, don't get in a knife fight. Rule number 2, if you get in a knife fight, have a gun. Rule number 3, if you get in a knife fight, have a knife. Rule number 4, if you get in a knife fight, run. Rule number 5, which some people say is rule number 1, you're going to get cut. You're going to get cut. So part of knife fighting isn't about avoiding getting cut or stabbed. It's being able to control how badly you're cut or stabbed. That's important. Let's see, what do we got? Glad you dropped by, learn a few things. Dude, check out the links in the video description. Like, I am an instructor, but I don't actively teach anymore. In order to get a black belt in an active karate system, in any Parker karate system, I'm ready to go show that dog some knife fighting. Hold on a second. Nikki, if that's Star, show her up, please.
It's not Star.
All right. Come up and say hi if you want. So, the Philippines, you live in the city, it's going to be traffic noise. Unless you have like a real lucked out backside condo. Like one of our condos is on the golf course side. Quiet, quiet, quiet always. Another one of our condos, actually most of the condos, we're next to construction sites. Or at 6 in the morning, it's just like traffic. Whether it's Makati, whether it's BGC, it doesn't matter. There's going to be noise here. It's dogs barking. I don't know how loud that comes across on the stream. I apologize for that. This is just the upstairs area. It's actually a nice area. This is what we call the sala. It's the upstairs salon. It's got this nice walkout porch here that leads to the roof deck. This house is there's a lot of bedrooms here, you can see. All right. It's 3 bedrooms and a big storeroom, plus the sala up here. We use the sala for like dancing, TikTok. Well, I don't do TikTok, but and fighting and working out. One of the things I do when I work out, and I also use it for combat Arnis training. Don't get me wrong, I like the gym, but this bad boy. Sometimes you got to hit something. Part of fighting is learning how to get hit. The other part of fighting is learning how to hit. You can break your wrist. You can dislocate your wrist. You can break your fingers, knuckles. Dislocate a thumb. Blocking. And trust me, I've done it all. I've dislocated both thumbs. I've hyperextended both elbows. I've dislocated a shoulder. I've rehabilitated a tennis elbow in both arms, one arm twice. I had extreme, how do they call that? Inflammation, extreme inflammation, bursitis in both shoulders, to the point where I'd lift my arm this high and it would shake. And if I lifted this high, the pain was so intense, I couldn't even lift my arm anymore. I was able to rehab all of that through Danda Yoga Systems, which is basically another form of martial arts training, flexibility training. What else we got going on here? Hey, from Duma, digital nomad trader in the house. You're still in Dumageddon, bro. Thanks for joining. The stream has been all about Filipino martial arts, why it's different than regular fighting. Regular Western fighting is head hunting, fist fighting. Filipino martial arts is knife fighting, right? Rules of knife fighting. Number one, don't get in a knife fight. Number two, or what people say is number one, if you get in a knife fight, you're going to get cut. And that is the premise of knife fighting. You're not necessarily learning how to kill somebody, although that's definitely part of it. You're learning kill or disable. You're learning how to minimize getting cut and stabbed. Knife fighting is the perfect blend of offense and defense, because if you stab or cut right, you won't have to fight anymore. But if you get cut, the fight is over. It's unbelievable what these idiots in the barong do sometimes with their noise. Oliver was thinking about you the other night. In a while, I guess you're still, like you said, in Duma, and curious to know how it is going for you. Hit me up on WhatsApp or something, and we'll chat. The type to keep Kuya for getting too close in the supermarket. Okay, yeah. Have I tried sparring before? Of course, man. So I'm a 3rd degree American Kempo, nationally ranked black belt. You don't get the kind of black belt I got unless you fight, okay? And we're talking bare knuckle fighting as well as sparring. Yeah, we spar, right? Equipment. We talked about equipment. The most important sparring pal you'll ever have in your life, right? The second most important sparring pal you'll ever have in your life, right? Rock bar. Of course I spar. You don't get black belts without sparring. At least not real ones. So what is the Kuya technique? So the Kuya technique for me is this. I gotta back this up a little bit. Well, first of all, you have to understand that when someone's in your face, this is your center line. And your center line is on their plane of attack. So if they strike you, they're coming in at this angle, right? This is your center line. You do not want your center line facing your opponent's line of attack. They can kick you in the nose and break it, your throat, your solar plexus, your family jewels, right? You are now open to critical attack. So rule number one, control distance. Rule number two, control angle. In this case, what you do is you take a little step back. You've now controlled distance and angle with one move. Now look, the center line is now here. It's no longer on my center line. When I was facing them, it's here. But when I step back, now the center line is basically here, right? And this is armor. Muscle is armor, right? A lot of times in karate, can't get it. That'll leave a bruise. But you learn to take bruises in karate. You learn to take bare knuckle punches because you understand your muscle is armor, okay? So rule number one, control angle and distance. Get off the line of attack. Rule number two, hey, de-escalate. I don't want to fight, bro. Even step back again. I don't want to fight. I'm still controlling distance. But look, what you don't see is my weight distribution. Hey, bro, I don't want to fight. And if he gets aggressive, I can make a fist. Now he's looking at my fist. He's not looking at that. See that kick? He's not looking at that. And that kick's going to come and back so fast that you will not see it coming. And I'm not going to be like, here's my kick. Or here's my kick. Oh. You're looking at my hands. Watch my head. My head does not change height, right? Hey, bro, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Kick comes out. But that kick's going to snap out fast. And it could snap to the knee. You don't even ever see it. That's a kick to the face. Great. I don't kick to the face. Kick to the knee. Or snap kick to the knee. Bro, I don't want to fight. But if I have to fight, now I'm in a position to cover up, armor, take the shot, take the shot, take the shot. So I got a couple bruises. Who cares? Or the nice thing about that weight distribution, you can't really see it here. But when I step back, see if I can do it like this. And this is the aggressive way to do it. There's a less aggressive way to do it. I'll talk about that in a minute. Still can't do it. Angle on this thing's not great. It's my crappy tripod today. When I step back, I've literally stepped back to 90% of my weight on this leg. And there's two reasons for that. One, if I have to push off, I can push off. We call that a step drag. Please keep that dog quiet. Right? But I'm probably not going to want to push off back because I can just shuffle if I want to go back. I'm either going to push it. So I don't want to fight, pop, right? I don't want to fight, pop, pop, or pop to the knee, right? I don't want to fight. And if it's close, I get low. I make myself a smaller target. The closer he gets to you, the lower you go and the higher your hands go. You don't want to go too low because then you can't really throw a kick. But you're going to get low, and then you can pop, throw those kicks. Or pop, pop, throw those jabs. And that's because of my weight distribution. This is the crane stance, right? On that crane stance, I can slide up. See this? Slide up. And when you slide up, back foot predicates distance. I can reach this far now for a punch. With my back foot up, I can reach this far for a punch. Back foot predicates distance. You're looking at my hands, you don't see the slide up, right? But that slide up happens with the kick. So that pop, pop to the knee. That's how you do it aggressively. If you want to just not be aggressive, it's the same beginning, right? Center line, off the target. Hands come up, out. Control the distance. The guy's getting close to you. Now he can't get any closer than your hands, but you don't threaten him, and you don't say, I don't want to fight. What you say is aggressively or forcefully, back off, man. I don't like people getting close to me. Didn't you hear me? I don't like people getting close to me. Right? The louder you say it, the more forcefully you say it, the more of a game face you bring is your attitude. That's your energy. That's your intent. I'm not just like, hey, man, can you step back? I don't like people getting close to me. I'm like, step off, man. I don't like people getting close to me. Back up. Back up. And I'll either move in on him or I'll move back. If I move in on him and he backs up, then I know I've got control of him. Right? He's a runner. Counter fighters don't back up. All right? 3 types of fighters. Runners and counter fighters are 2 of them. Other one's misdirection. If the guy doesn't back up, then I'm going to turn into a runner. I told you, man, I don't like people in my face. Just get back. What do you want? Look at what you do. Hey, man, I'm just saying hi. Handshake. Yeah. Nah, I got a phobia. I don't like touching people. I'm going to be on my way, Get out of my face. That's not going to happen in a supermarket. It's going to happen on the street, outside a bar, or maybe even in a bar. In which case, you're going to be like, hey, man, look, no, I don't like people getting close to me, man. Can you just back off? Let me buy you a beer. Why don't you just go with your friends? I'll buy you a beer. Come on, leave me alone. I want to mind my own business tonight. There's so many ways to de-escalate a situation with your voice and your attitude and your intent. What do we got? A mess. Of course, equipment, right? Most important equipment of all. The nut hut. This place is a mess. What do we got? What are things you learn to accept and live with? Is it more noisy where you're at versus in a condo? Okay, Billy, that's a great question. More noisy is a relative term because you have to choose your noise. Do you want construction noise 24/7? Do you want traffic noise 12 hours a day? Do you want random dogs and chickens and kids screaming and bullhorns in the street 12 hours a day? So in the barangay at night, it's super quiet. Mostly in Makati and BGC and even Quezon City at night, it's pretty quiet, depending on where your condo is. If your condo overlooks C5, it's traffic 24/7. It will never, ever be quiet. If you're living next to a condo they're building in BGC or Makati, it will never be quiet. They build 24/7. Would I rather have noise and dogs throughout the day than insane traffic first thing in the morning? Yes. Can you find areas where there's no noise at all? Yes. A couple of my friends' condos and one of my condos in BGC, like overlooking a golf course, overlooking the cemetery. No more room to build there. Those condos are really quiet on the back side, but on the front side, you hear the bars all night long from Forbes Town Strip, music. The Philippines is like the noisiest freaking city in the world, man. Or Manila is, at least. What are the things you will learn to accept and live with? Everything, including buying a soda, will take 10 times longer than it needs to. Not just for you, but for the two people in line in front of you. I cannot figure out why. To take the money, to ring it up, to make the change, to get the bag, to open the bag, to put it in the bag, to giving you your change, your souklet. That should take like 40 seconds. Here it takes like 5 minutes. Paying your bills, going to the bank, 30, 40, 50 minutes in the bank just to even make a deposit. Schedule, ferry schedules. Oh, the website says they're open on Sunday. Sorry, we're not open today. Oh, sorry, we're closed today. It's a national holiday. It's a new holiday. Whatever. They do pop-up holidays here. Oh, by the way, next week this is a holiday, and it's like, oh, great. I have a schedule. I have appointment scheduled next week. Oh, sorry, you're gonna have to reschedule. It's a holiday. We're closed now. You're gonna have to accept so much shit here. And we do this whole thing called it's not third world anymore. There's BGC. There's the financial district. The Philippines isn't third world. Yeah, I get 60% of your country is living below the poverty line or in squalor. But I know since you have BGC, it's not third world. It's global south. But even in the new global south, we were talking about this the other day in the expat chat, and we're going to do a stream on it once I find out some more details. But basically, say you get hit by a car or you're in a car accident and you're unconscious and you need to go to the hospital and the ambulance shows up. The ambulance will let you stay at the scene of the crime, let you die in the street, unless you can show them or contact someone to show them that you can pay for the ambulance. They're like, oh, sorry, no pay, no ride. It's not like they take you in the ambulance, stabilize you, bring you to the hospital. Then they're like, what's your name, sir? Fill out the paperwork, sir. Let's arrange for payments. Now, you walk into the hospital, they're like, pay now. Before anything. You want an ambulance ride? I have 4 examples of ambulance drivers standing around watching somebody die because they couldn't confirm payment. Another example, it was like 4 blocks away to the hospital. This girl's friends had to pick her up. Each had a leg and arm and literally run her 4 blocks to the hospital where I believe she died because the ambulance wouldn't take them without proof of payment. Don't tell me by any stretch of any level of imagination that that's not third world mentality. Right? Oh, we'll just watch you die, sir. Oh, you have a credit card? It's okay. Philippines is an awesome country. Philippines has a lot of maddening shit, but so does every country, except maybe some of the small European countries. But the reason why people don't retire here is because of medical considerations. Some guys have diabetes, so they can't, they might not get their medicine, whatever. But really, it's like, oh my God, what happens if I'm unconscious on the side of the road and I need immediate treatment? That's when you're fucked. Even if you have like super private insurance that will airlift you out, if they can't identify you or know who you are, you don't have emergency contact available on your phone or something, or your phone didn't go flying when you got hit by a bus, you're fucked. Philly in the Philippines, you having a bad Philippines morning? Now I'm having a great Philippines morning. I'm a little sweaty, but we were talking about healthcare in the expat chat the other day, and the guys had some insane stories. Today we're talking about Combat Arnis, Philippines Combat Arnis, right? How the Philippines is a bladed fighting culture instead of a fist or head hunting fighting style. We're talking about the difference between traditional karate systems, like my Kempo karate system. I'm a 3rd-degree black belt, and my black belt in Filipino Combat Arnis. When I got my black belt here, it took me almost 4 years. I got this nifty jacket. It's the Kalahi system. If you're interested in learning from an absolutely mind-boggling grandmaster, look at the links in the description below. Good morning, Brian. Guys, Philly in the Philippines joined the chat. He is a long-time Philippines resident that has been running a YouTube channel for longer than I have. Lots of information about Angeles, where he lived for, God, who knows how long. And now Siargao, where he's living. If I had to make a choice, I would definitely choose Siargao over Angeles. And I would say the only reason I'm in Manila is for work. Yeah, otherwise I'd be living in Puerto Galera again. Fuck. Mouth guard, all right? Not hurt. Protective gloves. That's what you need. So I have talked a lot about the differences between different fighting styles, right? Situational awareness, environmental awareness, how to de-escalate a situation with your voice and your body language, how to control distance and control angle, basic, systems like if you have to engage, how to get your center line off the target, right? How to get your center line off the plane of attack or the line of attack. Well, hello. Someone was out running errands early this morning. Now she's back.
Bad errands.
Tell me
So
later.
disappointing.
Oh, again, right. So that's.
Hi. Sorry,
We were talking about. Hold on a second. We were talking about. He said, "What kind of things do you have to deal with here? Like is it like what kind of things you have to learn to accept?" So she went on errands this morning. I think she had to go to a government facility,
Hospital.
a state or government or public hospital for paperwork for family and that kind of stuff, and or to reschedule an appointment or whatever. And was it a smooth and wonderful experience here? See what I'm saying? They probably jerked her chain left and right, and you ain't even going back again today?
Yes,
Oh.
I have to go back now. The plan is to go there, get the number, and then come back here and work, and then around 11 you have to go back there and bring mama.
11 this
they
morning.
said no, there's no number. The doctor haven't gave them numbers yet. Your appointment. They said they will start giving it up by 12. But last time we were there 6:30. But then they already start giving number, and we have to wait around 1 p.m. But then the doctor was late around 2:30. That's when the doctor arrived, which the schedule is supposed to be 1 p.m.
So there's no rhyme or reason to the way the system works. So she's basically saying that they told her to go early this morning and get a number because last time they started giving numbers at 6:30. Now you either go and get the number and wait, or you go and you get the number, which gives you your time, and then you come back because nobody wants to wait in a public freaking hospital for 4 hours. So it's for like some tests or something, or I don't even know what it is. But But basically, you don't have to pay, or you pay super cheap when you go public. And the Filipinos have the ability to do that at some level more than foreigners do. And what was the other thing? So she goes there early this morning to get the number. Sorry, we don't give out numbers till noon. But meanwhile, the plan was to go at 6, get the number, come back at 11. So now it's what? Almost 10, and she's back, and now she'll either cook or work for a little while, and then go back, get the number, and it's just.
I'm just gonna cook.
There's no rhyme or reason here. Oh, the doctor's supposed to be in at 1. He won't be until 2:30. It's like.
And wait, you have to wear a mask.
Right, and you have to wear a freaking mask.
They won't let you in.
I got your mask right here. Put it on.
What's that? Mask?
What do you think that is?
It looks like a condom.
Huh? Oh, that looks like a condom? Really?
Gas mask.
No, really. What is that?
Looks like a gas mask.
Oh, really? Where's the gas going to go through?
No,
what's
like
going to filter the
this
gas?
one, but this part.
Oh, it looks like one. It looks like one.
Yeah.
Most gas masks don't have 3 giant holes in the front of them. You see the 3 giant holes? So, guess. Like, really, educated guess. Critical thinking. What is this?
I don't know.
You have no idea.
Let me read. Maybe there is a sign there. No.
I hope it says Nut Hut on it.
I don't know.
Tell me what this is for.
For cut?
Why? Why would I want to put that there?
To cover it?
Why would I cover it?
For your safety.
For my safety.
Ah, okay, that's what.
So I don't get kicked in the balls. Come on.
But how are you gonna put that? Are you gonna tape it with your brief?
Yeah, I'm gonna tape it. There's a special brief that holds it.
Ah, okay.
Brief has a pocket.
All right, I have to go away now. Have to cook.
Ugh. Sounds like Canada, really. I thought they just euthanize people there now. What are things? Comments are a little slow today. It is hot and freaking sweaty up here today. That's my mouth guard. Nah.
No?
Nah. I don't need to do a 2-hour stream today, guys. It was really just about, someone asked me to do a stream on Filipino martial arts. So I did, and this is it. And I talked a lot about it. And if you guys have any questions, or if there's something I wasn't clear on, or anything like that, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below. If you're watching this video and you found it, I don't know, helpful, enjoyable, entertaining, whatever, please like the video. And hell, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and consider joining this channel as a member. Channel members get access to all types of perks. You can join this channel for as low as 79 pesos a month. Imagine that. Yes, and that will give you access to hundreds of videos that I simply cannot publish on YouTube anymore due to woke censorship and who the F knows what else. Oh yeah, haters and butthurt fucking pinheads. Yeah, because there's a lot of them out there. And when you talk truth about stuff, butthurt pinheads get on the hating crew, and then the next thing you know is someone's on. No. If you want real talk about the Philippines, or you want to see what's going on after dark, like real Manila after dark, like YouTube adult rates it kind of stuff, join the channel as a member. And if you join as a member and you're coming to the Philippines, you will have the opportunity to connect kasama ko with me. Yes, I do make an effort to meet up with channel members. Actually, I run nightlife tours. I do consultations. All the links are in the video description below. Unless there's any more questions that pop up in this little side stream, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for the day. Thank you for joining. I actually started the stream a little earlier today. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. Ooh, what's up for Halloween festival? Going to be back P Burgos or another area I haven't seen much in. All right, that reminds me. Hold on, let me just grab some. I hope it's right here. Hold on. Yes. All right, so Halloween. Usually what I'll do is I'll put on so as part of my Kempo karate training, sometimes we work with law enforcement to train them, how to disarm, how to defend, how to do different types of things. We'll do like seminars. We'll let the law enforcement guys in. They teach us a little something. We teach them a little something. But I got a chance to train with the military, and they gave us a bunch of gear one year. We got like really nice high-end combat boots, really nice desert fatigues, like the real deal that they issue to military personnel. I have a very high-tech, super thin ballistic vest. It's like a undershirt bulletproof, armor. A couple military hats, some aviator shades. So every year I just kind of put on like my military shit, the bulletproof vest and some shades and the hat, and I go as some kind of special forces guy. But that's getting old fast. But recently I got like a slew of comments on the channel where guys were like, "You look like Randy the Macho Man Savage." So I did this Randy the Macho Man Savage. I have the headbands and stuff. He wore the headbands and he'd be like, "It's me, Randy the Macho Man Savage." So I think that's hard to do. This year I'm gonna go as the Macho Man. Like maybe I'll just I'll get up. I'll do like a bunch of pump, workouts or something to try to get all pumped up. I'll take some extra creatine, whatever, and I'll go as the Macho Man. The problem with going as the Macho Man is if I wear what they call a sando here, they won't let me into a nightclub. They might on Halloween. They'll see. I'll have to bring like a shirt or something. But this is the closest I got to Randy the Macho Man Savage glasses now. And you could probably wear these in a nightclub without going blind. Because when you wear real sunglasses in a nightclub, you can't see where the hell you're going. Yeah, Randy, the Macho Man Savage, because the cream rises to the top, Gene. Yeah. So I don't know if what they call Taktukan, the Burgos party, will be back this year. You can't find any information online about it. Even like the day before the event, you can't find it. You just say, "Oh, they're setting up for a Burgos event," and then there's going to be a Halloween Burgos event. You can't really plan for it. If you go online and you do a search for Halloween events, you're going to get the standard, "Oh, Solaire Hotel's doing it. Oh, Okada Casino has a Halloween ball. Oh, maybe, who knows, some nightclub like Royal will be they're doing like Latino horror Halloween or something, whatever the hell that means." Does that mean they're going to have El Chupacabras there? I mean, who the hell knows? But Halloween's one of those weird things where you never know. Let's look at the dates. You never know what day the major parties are going to be on, and every little club does it a little differently. So this year, Royal's doing it on the 31st, which is actually Halloween. That's a Thursday night. Now, Thursday nights can get blowing up at Royal, and I wouldn't be surprised if a Halloween Thursday night is blowing up. So if you want tables, now is probably the time to reserve them. However, you got to remember that Halloween week, it's All Souls Day, All Saints Day, and All Hallows Eve. And they celebrate all of those holidays here. So you're going to go from All Hallows Eve to All Saints Day to All Souls Day. So Friday will be All Saints Day. Saturday will be All Souls Day. And that's the day that the Filipinos crowd the cemeteries. Thousands and thousands of people descend on the cemeteries. So my guess is that Thursday and Friday, the All Hallows Eve or Halloween and All Saints Day, that Thursday, Friday, that whole weekend is just going to be blowing up. There's going to be Halloween events all through it. If you wanted to dress up, your best bet would probably be to dress up on Halloween, Thursday night, and go to a place like Royal if you wanted a Halloween party. But don't be surprised if you see people dressed up all that weekend going to Halloween parties, because Xylo will probably have their Halloween party on a Friday night. And they might do, costumes get in free kind of thing. Although I don't think they do that in the Philippines. Because anytime it's buy one, get one here, or first 500 free, at 5 o'clock in the morning, there's 500 fucking Filipinos lined up to get a free donut. I am not kidding. Philly, that's funny. You thought I was having a bad day. You must have caught me ranting on something. Some guy has been leaving me comments telling me what a brutal individual I am because I'm so savagely mean to taxi drivers. I'm like, bro, I might talk about taxi drivers because a lot of taxi drivers are arrogant, rude, and feel entitled to, against the law, demand that you pay them 10 times what the fee would be to take them somewhere. In the Philippines, you're not allowed to negotiate a trip. You're supposed to pay the meter. You can tell the guy, look, I don't want to take you there. There's too much traffic. I'll be like, put the meter on and give you extra 100. He could say, okay. All right, now you have an agreement. I can offer that. But if he says to me, no, sir, 500, that's illegal. I'm like, bro, I could get a grab for 150. You're right here. I got 150 pesos for you. Take me over there. Take me over there fast enough. You get the change. No, sir, 500. All right, fuck you. You're an asshole. That doesn't make me mean to taxi drivers. That makes me intolerant to assholes. There's a million taxi drivers that are like, okay, sir, they put on the meter, they take me home, I give them a tip, I say, thanks, Kuya, and we're done. Just because I don't talk about them doesn't mean it's out there. The analogy I used was in every barrel of apples, there's going to be a bad apple, right? Some barrels are going to have a higher percentage of bad apples. Unfortunately, in Manila, taxi drivers are one of those barrels. They're just, I don't know if it's conditioning. I don't know if it's culture. We've talked about why the Filipinos expect money from foreigners. They think you're rich, and we talked about why. We talked about medium income, and we talked about economy, and we talked about conversion rates on other live streams. But they call it a skin tax here. In other words, if your skin is a different color than theirs, they think you're a foreigner and therefore can pay them more. So they will ask and or extort for it. And I just don't play that. Homie, don't play that. So that does not make me a savage animal to taxi drivers. It makes me not willing to take someone's shit when they're trying to break the law and steal my money. Chris Brown, I'm glad you're entertained. And thank you for being a channel member. I guess it's always entertaining, and I'll try to make it as entertaining as I can. I'm going to upload members only real soon. I'll make it available for all members. It's me very drunk talking about almost killing somebody in a car. More fighting, more situational awareness, more controlling yourself kind of shit, especially when you've been drinking. And I'm a wreck. I am an absolute mess. I look like I'm 75 years old in the video. It's fucked up. Booze, man. It's like I see myself sometimes like all boozed out. And I'm like, dude, that shit is poison. It's killing you. What's up for Halloween? So you won't see much, man. You won't see much until like the day before, if that. You got to do a web search, and you got to make sure that you're not looking at a post from Halloween 2022. Because that's mostly what comes up is like last year's events. Question. What do you think about being there in the Phils if China invades Taiwan and sets their eyes on the PH after? I don't think about it at all. Don't think about it at all. And I'll tell you why. Because I have no control over it. And what's out of my control, I don't want to worry about. I'll say I do have I have 3 contingency plans. 1, immediate emergency. I have a Bugout bag. I can throw my laptop. I can throw some cash. I can throw my weapons, my water purifiers, my solar chargers. It's all ready to go. Potable water taps. I have a Bugout bag, basically a survival kit that I can grab and run with. Right. The most I'd have to throw in is like foldable laptop or 2, throw in a charger. And grab it and run. Like I've got everything I need in my pack safe locking bag. My IDs, everything I need. I don't even take credit cards out with me. Everything's in the bag. I have a place where I could go to get the hell away from BGC because we're right next to BGC. We're actually like a bow shot from McKinley Hills here, the Venice Canal Mall. And right behind that is the military base. You would think that one of the first targets would be a military base. So we have like a little farm in Batongas where we have a bro, and he's like, come up anytime. So we would get the hell out of BGC, see what's going on, and then I don't know, maybe go to the US. And that's why we're trying to handle her and my visa shit right now. Yeah, I can't really worry about that, man. It's so far out of my control that all I can do is have the plan to get the hell out. And step 1 is have the Bugout badge. Step 2 is have a place in the country you can roll to. Step 3 is get your visa shit in order in case you have to grab your wife and head back to the States. Not that the States is going to be any better. The Manila taxi drivers earn their hate over years and have learned nothing, even with Grab on the scene. I would agree with that, man. And you're right. They have learned their hate over the years. You know, I can count probably twice in 12 years that I have allowed a taxi driver to extort me. One, it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday during rainy season. After coming back from Corregidor Island, I was exhausted and standing in the pouring rain. And I'm asking this guy to take me from like literally from like, you know, like deep Manila into, you know, Eastwood City. And he's like 500. I'm like, I look at my girlfriend. She's like, I'm like, yes, sir. Let's go, sir. I'm like, get in a taxi. Here's your 500 pesos. I'm not even going to argue with you. I might have said something like, bro, you could have at least, you know, put on a meter. Like, but I didn't. And another time I was drunk and it was late and my girlfriend was like, I don't know, maybe she had cramps or something. And she's like, I want to go home. And the guy's like, 300. And I'm like, dude, it's like right down the street. He's like, 300. I'm like, she's like, let's go. I'm like, all right, bro. But normally she's the one that's just like, screw you, man. She's like, I'm not paying you that. She's like, 100 in the line. He'll be like, 200. She'll be like, fuck you, punta menina, blah, blah. Like, they don't like it either. And it's not like foreigners aren't nice to them. It's not like we don't leave tips. At least any foreigner that I know, and in my experience, I always leave a taxi driver a tip. Unless he agreed to a rate and I agreed to it. Sometimes like a taxi driver would be like 300. I'll be like, no, 200. And he'll say, okay. And I'm like, all right, we negotiated. We're good. I'm okay with 200. I mean, normally the taxi might have cost 120 and then I'll give you like a 20, 40, 50 peso tip. I'm paying close to 200 anyway. I'm not going to, I need 30 pesos change, sir. No, it's 4:30 in the morning. Take me home. Here's $4, 200 pesos. Not even $3.86. It's fine. That includes your tip. Yeah, guys don't get it here. Like, I don't know, maybe they think cabbies here are like cabbies back home. And you're right, even with Grab on the scene, like, and Grab is good. Like, I have rarely had a bad experience with Grab. Wow, somehow I'm going to wrap it up after 47 minutes turned into an hour and 30 minutes. But that's fine. Like, if you guys are in the comment section, I'm happy to talk. Manila taxi drivers earned their hate over years. Why do you think why do you think they're like that, man? They are very acerbic. They're not aggressive. They're not even rude, although what they're doing is rude and illegal. They're like they just have this like vitriol inside them. They're just like bitter. Why are they so bitter? Like what did we do to make them so goddamn bitter? Holy. All right, it's hot and sweaty out here. I've been swinging sticks and throwing kicks. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today again. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, members, all that good stuff. I don't want to give you the sales pitch again. I'm happy to keep the stream going. Kiwi Neil. Always good to see you on the stream. Thank you. I'll take a grab anyway over the white taxis. Hell yeah. First of all, the white taxis, they're broken down and the aircon sucks. All right. And sometimes they stink. Grabs are usually well air conditioned and clean. But I've had the worst ever experience at 3 a.m. going to Makati International Departure in a white taxi. Yeah. A taxi to the airport is a risky proposition, especially during rainy season. If it's been raining and you have to get to the airport, you make sure you call the Grab early and you make sure you call a 6-seater because you want a car that can pass through like a 2 or 3 foot deep puddle because there's some areas that flood between Makati, BGC, and the airport. You mentioned weapons. What kind of weapons do you have there? Can you have buy gun in the PH? Also, did you purchase your bug out bag in the States and take it there? Great questions. Let's take them one at a time. So I don't really have weapons here, okay? I have, my combat Arnis training sticks, where my second one is, I don't know. I have a number of pen knives and pocket knives and switchblades. I have brass knuckles, all of which are illegal to carry, by the way. Brass knuckles. I have a pair of stun gun brass knuckles. These things are the best things in the world. I should have remembered to bring them out today, because I did a demonstration for Kempo in the U.S. where I showed them the traditional, what they call espada daga, where there's techniques where like you'll do these sweeps. So like when I come out with a sword, right? But then how I turn my body, I put the knife out, right? And then this stick comes back around for a snap, snap. But in the States, I don't use the stick. I use my collapsible baton, which actually fits in a pocket. My collapsible baton, it's aircraft grade aluminum. And I use the stun gun knuckles because they're just so cool. Like just the concept. It's like, not only do I have a pair of brass knuckles, they got a pair of contacts on the end. Here's 50,000 volts. Not that it's, it's ground, got to think about grounded and amperage and all that, but stun gun brass knuckles are a really good deterrent. They fit in your pocket. Technically, they're illegal. Any weapon is illegal here. If you get caught with it, you will get shook down for money, fined, basically. If you hurt someone with it, you will probably go to prison and or be deported. So yeah, if you fuck someone up, get rid of the weapon. What can I say? You can buy guns here. It is incredibly hard for a foreigner to purchase firearms. Even harder to get a permit. Usually what will happen is you have to have a lot of money. You have to know the right person. And if you got that kind of money and that kind of connections, you probably have a private driver. So the way you do it is you get the gun and you keep it in your house. And if you want to carry it, you don't carry it. You have your private driver carry it, right? So technically it's the Filipino with the carry license carrying your gun around while he watches out for you. I purchased most of my bug out bag in America, yeah. Like the blue light water filters, the bag, ionic squeeze filters, the solar chargers for the portable devices. What else? My aircraft grade aluminum baton. I also have something called karambits here. It's a Filipino weapon that combines a curved hook knife with a finger ring and a dulo or a dulo, which they call end. So the dulo on this weapon is the butt. Not only can you strike with it, you can butt with it. So the karambit is one of the most deadliest knives to fight with. It's specifically part of the Filipino martial arts fighting system. You learn to twirl the karambit as a first degree combat Arnis black belt, but you don't learn to fight with it until you're going through your second degree. It's a reversible weapon that works as a butt weapon. Like, so it's dulo. It works as a knuckle weapon because of the ring, and it works as a blade because of the hook. It's basically a curved knife. It's a very deadly weapon. It originated from a goat horn. They used to, shear the horn off a goat. It had a curve on it. Just put that in your hand. It acts like a, like a fish stabilizer. The end is the butt, and the horn is the weapon. Where'd you get the electric knuckles? I got that pair in just some little store in Quezon City. Like, I've seen them. It's at bazaars. Like the guys that sell like the flashlights that are also stun guns, the regular stun guns, the high power flashlights, the brass knuckles. Like, you see it just arrayed on a table in like a little bazaar. You can get them in Quiapo. I got mine in Quezon City. I've seen it for sale in Eastwood. It's a bazaars. There's shops around here that they call tactical. Any tactical shop in the Philippines will probably have one. It only costs like 800 pesos. It was like $15. I love it. It's the coolest thing I've ever owned next to my drone and my Mac and my 360 camera. But I don't carry weapons around, man. Like, very rarely will I carry weapons. It just depends on where I'm going and what time I'm going. But again, I also don't feel the need to carry weapons. It's that safe. And of course, I am a self-defense expert. And a part of my self-defense training was fighting. Like, I not only know how to defend myself, gun takeaways, knife takeaways, stick takeaways, fighting. I know how to throw down and fight. And I'm not just talking one opponent. Excuse me, the girls are coming out. Sometimes they're not dressed. Hey, she's dressed. It's like her 18-year-old cousin or something. Yeah, that's the other thing. You have to deal with like 18-year-old cousins running around in house. It's like, okay, baby. Bit of useless info. When went to Manila to Hong Kong to go to New Zealand, Hong Kong has a massive sign stating you're going to prison if attempt to have a stun gun through the Hong Kong airport. Yeah, you can't bring stun guns. Although I've brought mine to America and back on a number of occasions, but it's always in my luggage and it's always disguised as something. Like, I'll bundle it with like a screwdriver and a hammer or something, or like my camera gear. I'll like wrap up a tripod with another little tripod, and like if the guys like open your bag, like I'll open the bag and I'll see the big tripod thing all wrapped together, and like, oh, okay. But I've had them tell me to take brass knuckles out of the bag. They've always let me bring the sticks through because the sticks are traditional and they could be tent poles or something, I don't think that's useless info, man. Like, you shouldn't be trying to bring weapons through airports. Awesome info, man. Soon all sub as a member. Awesome. Yeah, get on a call, man. You provided hit war. I don't know what hit war is. Doesn't break out and all. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't break out, man. Let's hope like all hell doesn't break loose. War is it's a military-industrial complex. It's how we make money. It's how we launder money. Our governments are corrupt. We all know that. Anything you read online, unless it's the deep web, anything you see on mainstream media, any news about the war, everything they tell you about Ukraine, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. It's all money laundering and corporate interest, corporate capture interest. It's fucked up. Are you banging the cousins too? Well, let's just say I've opened up the line of conversation. And it wasn't a fuck you, no. So to this point, no, I'm not. But there's going to be a night where we're going to be sitting around. We're going to have the karaoke machine out. We're going to be drinking the Fumador brandy. They're going to be tipsy. I'm going to be like, she's going to be like, maybe. It's very common in the Philippines for that kind of stuff to happen. I'm not going to pursue it with any great alacrity. Not that my girl would care, but just don't want shit to be weird. But that's funny you should mention that, because the other day we had a neighbor over, and we don't have a lot of neighbors over. And this girl's, she's relatively young, and they were chatting and they were drinking and they were doing karaoke, and the girl's like, "Oh, it's so nice to finally talk to you because all the women in the neighborhood think you're a tough, like hard case, because you're always walking around and you look so serious." Because she kind of has a resting bitch face, and which I like. I think she looks hot with the resting bitch face, but Filipinas read that differently. And everybody knows that she's with me and I'm with her. Like I can't go for a walk anywhere around here. They know exactly who I am. Oh, where is she? Blah blah blah, that kind of thing. But she also told them that there's all the girls in the barangay have a bet to see if they can get me, they can bag me, bed me, and that not all, but a large, say, percentage of the girls that are, say, single and or married, are hoping that I take a side trip to bang. And I thought, well, okay, but the problem with that is that news travels fast in the barangay. And it's not like, again, if the news got back to her, she would be bent out of shape. It's more that everybody would know. And then it might look bad for her, like, oh, her husband disrespects her, her husband, bangs other girl. Like, it's like a culture thing. So, like, even though you can, doesn't mean you should. Because they can't keep their mouth shut. Girls can't keep secrets, man. Somebody's going to know. Somebody's going to know. And quite honestly, like, to me, it's like a novelty. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, you're 18, you're kind of cute, I'll bang you, sure, why not? But like, it's not like you're a 9 or a 10, and it's not like I'm hard up for it. So like half the time I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'll pass. I'm already done for the day. I already have my sessions in. Like let me rest up for tomorrow. Even though it's Halloween. I'm Randy, the Macho Man, savage. Yeah. Remember, Gene, the cream rises to the top. Yeah. And I'm almost even over Halloween at this point. It is fun in Manila. It's actually the funnest Halloweens I've ever had in my life. And I used to feel that way about New Year's. And now, like New Year's, I'm just like, you know what? Unless someone has booked a tour, I'm not even going out. That's not true. Last year, I was like, I'm not going out. And it turns out somebody's like, dude, we got a big table. Well, come, And I'm like, all right, we'll be there. There's a lot of great guys here in Manila, a lot of guys that have a lot of money. And they might go out on occasion, they might go out a lot, but when they go out big. And they'll be like, it's my girlfriend's birthday. I'm dropping 35,000 on the table. I'm inviting, 4 of her girls and 4 of my boys. Why don't you come along with your girl? It's on me. I'm like, really, bro? Like, I'll chip in 5K. He's like, nah, it's on me. Like, they got it. It's like it's their girl's birthday, or it's New Year's Eve or something. Like, they're like, I wanted to go out. I wanted a table. I want to party. He's like, I got the coin. He's like, just come and drink. Because you drop $35K on a table, they're going to put 3 or 4 bottles on that table. And like, 10 people, it usually ends up being 15 people. 15 people can usually make it through 4 bottles. 10 people, that's a stretch. We get just way too wrecked. Way too wrecked. Guys, comments have come to a halt again, which is fine. You're not required to comment on stream. Feel free to follow, subscribe, join as a channel member. Hey, leave me a super chat. Whatever you got, bring it on. And or questions and comments. But since things have, here we go. Halloween and PH is crazy, but no ideas what they mean. I think I have 3 or 4 Halloween videos up on my channel. So if you go to YouTube and you do Videolux Halloween, Videolux Halloween, you'll probably see all my Halloween videos. And then if you click on my Halloween videos, there'll probably be those little cards up in the corner to all the other Halloween videos. If you want to take a look at how wild Halloween is in Manila, check out some of my videos. I even have like a Burgos Halloween video, or 2 at this point. Where? I've done Halloween mostly in Makati, Poblacion Makati. I did it once in BGC. It was fun, but it wasn't too wild in BGC. Makati's always wild. They usually do a block party, a street party, but it's like they close off Burgos, so it's like a 4-block party. And I did one year on the top of Gramercy. They used to have a club called the 71 Club. It was the tallest, highest club in Manila. It was before they opened the Grand Hyatt Regency roof deck or Sky Bar, whatever they call it. Before they opened the IM Hotel roof deck, there was 71 Gramercy, which inexplicably has closed. It has been closed for like 10 freaking years. Great club up there. They used to do a bomb Halloween party. Kiwi Neil, you are the man. Thank you so much for the super chat contribution. Guys, if you enjoyed the stream and you'd like to follow Kiwi Neil, one of my channel members' examples, that is what a super chat looks like. It is contribution to the channel that helps. Everything helps. Every bit helps. It's not the reason I get on the live streams, but I'm happy to have it on the live stream. What else we got? I might be Jack Sparrow or Captain Hook. Yeah, hey, if you can pull off, actually, I suppose anyone can pull off Jack Sparrow. Even if you didn't have hair, you could just get a wig and a hat, right? Yeah. I told you, right? I'm going as Randy the Macho Man. If I dress up at all. I don't dress up if she doesn't dress up because I just feel like a jackass. And I don't feel like going as like Mr. Bulletproof Vest Commando guy anymore. Like we've done that enough. And before I grew the beard, I used to go as the Hitman, right? Black suit, red tie, sunglasses, shaved head. I'd feel like a complete jackass if I went as Captain Picard. But when you're bald, it's either wear a wig, a hat, or go as Captain Picard. What options do you have? I'm Professor X. So I'll go out in my wheelchair. Yeah, I'm definitely not ready for a drink unless it's water. God, man, believe it or not, lunch is actually breakfast for me. Yeah.
What do you want to eat?
Now she's asking me if I want to eat. Nothing really, baby. I'm not hungry.
Okay.
I want to work out.
All right.
Please pen your calendar, February 15th. Have some brews at Cafe Cabana. Can discuss later on Messenger. Okay, February 15th. You know what? I have the calendar up right here, actually, because I was looking at Halloween. I will do that right now. God, that seems so far away. Actually, I already have you listed. I already have you in there. You must have messaged me about it before. I think you messaged me offline. Yeah, I got it. I got it penciled in. All right, I am going to take your advice. Thank you for the super chat. And it's almost 2 hours. That's a good long stream. Any questions about Kempo karate? Any questions about Filipino martial arts? If you want to learn how to be a Filipino martial artist, I would say don't learn from me. Although I could teach you the basics. Technically, any black belt has to know the system, has to be able to train and teach the system in order to obtain the black belt. So I could teach you the Kalahi system, and I've taught many students, especially my U.S. students, Kalahi. And my grandmaster wanted that. He's like, I want my name out there. I want my style shown. I don't want Filipino martial arts to die. But take a look at the links in my video description to his channel, some of his videos, some of his contact information is in one of those videos. I think he's 8th degree now, 8th Dan, Grandmaster Alan Fami. I mean, he has learned from some of the best. He does like a lot of the choreography for the television shows here. Like, he is the man. And when you see him swing that blade around, you're going to be like, this man is no joke. And like, I haven't sparred with him in years, but when I did spar with him, I probably outweighed him by 40 pounds. I probably had like 3 inches on him, 4 inches on him. He's a short guy. Outweighed him by at least 40 pounds, and that did me no good. Like, I had to learn to adapt Kempo to fight him because he was so fast and so quick. That's why I learned that dragon whip kick that I showed earlier in this video. Because he was just so, like, I would be on him, and then he would either evade or come inside the guard so fast that I didn't even have time to retreat. All I could do was throw up that either defend or throw up the dragon whip kick. So I practiced that dragon whip kick for a long time. I'll leave you with one thing, guys. No, I wouldn't want to shave my beard. I like it, and the Filipinos like it too. I certainly probably wouldn't shave it. So when I train alone in the house, and I shadow box and stuff, it's a little slippery here actually. I'm sweaty, and I shadow box. I don't do this like kind of shit. I don't go for speed. I go for form and muscle memory. So I'll remember this. I practice this a couple times a month. It's a drill that Joe Lewis showed me. Joe Lewis was a 10th degree American Kempo Karate black belt, the United States undefeated heavyweight kickboxing champion, one of the grandmasters of my school. He said, when you're bare knuckle fighting, guys are going to be runners. They're going to back up. They don't want to get hit. A lot of guys don't know how to angle because they don't box. They just want to get out of the way of those knuckles. So he said the drill is fake, cheat up. All right? So you fake, cheat up. So I would just practice that. I'd fake you, I'll fake you. I'm coming right now. Right? Fake you, and then cheat up. And then right? So it's fake, cheat up, and then big spring, back knuckle. You can't really see it, so back knuckle. So the jab and the back knuckle are different punches. That back fist is one of the fastest punches, and there's a formula to calculate distance from where your back foot is in relation to what they call critical distance, which is the space you need to be able to get the weapon to the point of the target, the person's face, wherever you're hitting. So the drill was, and you do it slow. Fake, so it's like fake, cheat up, extension for the back knuckle, which looks like this, and not just counterpunch from here. Because once you throw that back knuckle, he's going to move out of range. So there's something called counterpunch, which could work there. Back knuckle counterpunch. That's they call that. That's a technique, mace and hammer, right? Block, mace, hammer, first degree black belt technique. Cheat up, back fist, counterpunch, but it's not counterpunch because he's going to be out of range. So it's go all the way back here. So it's fake, cheat up, and then explode right, with that back fist, and not just counterpunch, but step through counterpunch. That gives you all the range you need for a running opponent. Because what am I going to do? Otherwise, if I know you're going to run like that, I got to chase you down for a crossover rear kick, where I literally cross behind, right? And on that crossover is when I throw that rear kick. And you see that coming a lot. Isn't the most practical martial art for defending yourself day-to-day Krav Maga? Yeah, Krav Maga is one of the most practical martial arts, but if you break down Krav Maga, what you'll see is a lot of Kempo techniques. Krav Maga and American Kempo karate, not traditional Okinawan Kempo karate, are very similar. A lot of the techniques that you're going to learn in Krav Maga come from American Kempo as well as combat Arnis, because Krav Maga teaches a lot of knife and gun disarms. The gun disarms come from Kempo. The knife disarms come from combat Arnis. The techniques, some of their techniques are a little distinct, but a lot of them are very similar to Kempo. Krav Maga is a great art. Rule number one in Krav Maga, don't go to the ground. Go to the ground, you're dead. All right, so cheat up, fake, right? So it's fake, cheat up. See how I got that sequence a little out of order there? Because I'm trying to talk and do it at the same time. You want to be able to practice it slowly to the point where you don't even think about it. It should just feel like natural. It's like fake, cheat up, back knuckle, step through, and then you do it again, right? You're moving. You gotta vary your movement, right? Here's my fake, right? Here's my fake. Here's my cheat up. All right, here's my fake. Here's my cheat up. Here's my back knuckle. All right, moving, right? Here's my fake. Here's my cheat up and back knuckle. All right. Right. Fake, cheat up. See, I cheated up and back knuckled at the same time. Fake, cheat up. So until I get that fake, cheat up, back knuckle, step through counterpunch. You want to practice it slow. It's the same principle as a musician. That's why they have metronomes. You practice at half tempo. You practice for form and accuracy and precision and muscle memory. It's the same thing with martial arts. When I practice my kicks, I don't practice them fast. I practice them slow and loose. And I showed that to the camera a couple times today. Like, if I'm throwing a kick, like, it's a lazy kick. Like, I'm literally just, you can see on the side, like, I'm literally just 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the sequence that you use. But when I throw the kick out there, it's super relaxed. Just basically just lazily flicking it out, making sure to keep my toes back so I don't break them, right? You never want to kick the wall like this. Kick the wall, the flat of your foot, the palm of your foot. So when I throw that kick out, it's just super lazy. Just getting the mechanics loose, because you got to be loose to be fast. So when I'm in my, hey, I don't want to fight, bro, I don't want to fight, and I need to throw that kick out there, it's fast. It's loose, it's relaxed. I'm used to throwing it. Speed comes, but you don't want to practice your technique sloppily. You want your technique to be perfect. You want it to be muscle memory. That way, when the adrenaline's pumping and you need it, you're going to have it. All right, 203. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for the super chat again, QB Neil. I got February 15th blocked off. Or schedule a call and we can talk. And the rest of you guys, maybe next Wednesday again, I'll try for a live stream. And that's it. I'm done. I am out. Thank you again. Any questions, comments below. Check out the links, all that good stuff. And I don't know, dropping videos every Sunday and live streams every Wednesday. So hope to catch you then.